Hello everybody and welcome to ServiceNow Expeditions. We explore the ServiceNow universe step by step. Joining you today, your guides, Mike, Ula and Ivan. So Ula, today I'm not going to spoil anything about the topic beforehand. I am handing the control to you.
Okay, today's topic, we're discussing reference qualifiers, which is kind of a core concept in the ServiceNow platform, due to everything in the platform more or less being a record in the table. So this is a core concept that everyone should have some understanding about.
All right, and we are agreed that we will start in the environment which is more or less, which everybody's acquainted with, is incidents. So let's switch to the platform and open the list of our incidents. Just for the clean purposes of this video, let's create a new one. All right, I will use my great testing user, Vanya Betev, for our testing purposes. And so here we are, blank new record, created and ready for being butchered.
Okay, so let's first discuss, how do you know what is a reference in regards to a reference qualifier? What's a reference, Mike?
The best indicator is the eye icon right beside of a field.
Also the magnifying glass.
Yes, and be aware of that there's a system property which you have to enable explicitly to also show this icon in a record which is not editable, because otherwise it's not displayed.
And by the way, this is a very good thing. There is not only a system property which basically activates this behavior across the platform, which might not be necessary at all times, but there is also a field attribute available called Clickthrough.
Yep.
Many things to digest here. Okay, so what you did when you selected Vanya as your caller was that you looked at another table and saw a selection of users.
Yeah.
Can you expand the caller again? So how does the system know which callers to choose from? There's a query behind the scenes. It's looking at another table specified by the field, and it's querying that table and getting one or many results, or maybe none, back as a selection on this field.
Yeah, just probably for those who have no idea what the relative databases are and how it works, right? The actual information about the caller, right? It's not only the name. If we talk about the real use case, right, on the platform and production environment, every caller has many fields: their first name, second name, emails, locations, etc., and they cannot be stored on the incident record because it will require a lot of additional fields, right? And that in many cases that is not needed, and we also need to decouple two entities from each other, right? Like incidents have one structure and users, they have another structure, but we use the records from user table in incident table. So how do we connect them? And that's exactly where this term relative is coming in play. We are only connecting them using a unique key, which is also known in ServiceNow platform as a unique identifier or a sysid, and this is what we have here. stored on the incident record. Using this unique identifier, system goes back to the sysuser table, so the table where the users are stored, and brings us creates a connection to all that information about the user which we potentially might need. But this is like a side note. Sorry, Ula.
Oh, it's a good hint, Ivan. Can you please also double click on the caller label? So this is what's stored in the records, not a name, but a reference. This is the SysID which is omnipresent, and you should be aware of that this SysID is important.
Yes, exactly. And where you see this SysID, I will just open the record using this eye icon, which allows us to see a short pop-up, which is a quick overview of the user record. And on the user record itself, on the top in the address line, you see that there is a parameter called SysID. And after equals, we see exactly the SysID of this user. If we change it to other user SysID which exists in our system, we will be redirected there. All right, thank you, Mike. Sorry, Ula, please take the control again.
Okay.
I need to use the chance to be a star as well.
We're all stars here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's inspect the caller field and see how the reference qualifier is composed by right-clicking on the caller label. Yeah.
Yeah, I have right-clicked on the color label, and then in this section, I can select a configure dictionary, which should ideally redirect me to the field. Yeah, here we are.
So here is the specification on this reference and what's it's looking at. And you see here in the first tab here, it's specified as a reference to the user, which is a table in the system. And it's using a simple reference qualifier. So no other specification is being done here other than just show all the users.
Again,
Pretty simple.
Yeah. Again, as Ula mentioned at the beginning, we need to somehow restrict the number or the subset, let's say, or the list of users which are available for us to select. For example, we don't need inactive users, right? People have left our business, right? They're not working anywhere. Why should we select them? We don't probably need service users or maybe admin users, but that's why the reference qualifier comes to our help and allow us to configure it.
Okay, so let's explore by trying to set this in this section here, the reference qualifier condition to something more restrictive to lock out some users.
Only users with the name Betev.
Oh,
yeah.
Hopefully there are a couple of them. So name, I'll use name, and I will use contains. Now I will save it, and let's see what changed on the record itself. I'm using history, where I can also locate my latest activities on the platform. So now the record has been opened. Let's see if I can select other users. I can also click the magnifying glass, and I see that there are no other users except this one. So sad. So as we can see, there are no other users. We can also check instead of like typing the first letter to just initiate a search, we can always click double star, and it should show us the list of all available users. So as we can see, nothing except for one user is currently available.
Do you know why it's a double star?
It's a wildcard.
Yeah.
Standard which is used.
Yeah, a single star will show you results with search string starting with. So double star shows you everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Star.
What's next?
Okay, so you can see this is a very simple qualifier. You can build it up with the condition builder, just as any condition builder. So you can have one or more conditions and just stack them together and add multiple conditions. Yeah. And if that's not enough, there's always the chance to dive into some of the more advanced options.
Where should we navigate our ship?
Okay, so in some cases, these simple queries, simple condition builders are just not enough. So we have prepared something in our expedition to look at some more of the advanced options. If you would go to Studio, perhaps, and check out our prefabricated expedition request form. And just check out how it looks in the portal. So we have a request here for a new expedition where you select an expedition leader, which is a reference qualifier to the sys users. And there's a whole lot of users here.
At the moment, we see everyone.
Everyone, yeah. So let's, for our purposes here, look at some real world use cases. So we start off by getting a request that this reference qualifier shouldn't show all users. Instead, you should just be able to see users that you are the manager for.
Yeah, for that purpose, I have just opened in the background expedition leader variable definition for the get log item, which has to be a reference type, right? For it to be able to reach out to other tables. And here on the form inside of the studio, we can switch to type specifications and see the similar block of fields.
Yeah.
Sorry, which allows us to configure it.
Yeah. So here is the reference qualifier, and now we're going to use a somewhat hidden gem in the simple qualifier. So you're going to go for the manager field. And then you want to select this, that you want every manager, every user that logged in shows their direct reports. So then you're going to switch to is dynamic.
And this is one of those things that I really like. ServiceNow allows you to have some flexibility while configuring reference qualifiers. And this is dynamic option. And by the way, as we are already in the Zurich release, there will be some more available options. We, however, will probably cover them in one of our later videos.
Let's see.
Today we concentrate on the is dynamic, which already have 4 predefined options. One is me, one of my assignments, my approvals, or users with roles. Good. So let's save it.
Yep.
And let's make sure that someone has me as a manager.
Mm-hmm.
I will add manager field on the form. And then I will add Ivan Betev, probably his brother, and check the form. As you can see.
Yeah, it's dynamically evaluated. So if another user logs in, then it would show that person's direct reports, if there are anyone.
Well, guys, this will be our ending point for today's expeditions. what we are prepared for you for the next video will allow you to understand how to work with more advanced options on with an example of a newly created catalog item. We thank you for being today with us.
Time flies when you're having fun. So see you in the next one.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.